Welcome to Stan's Auto Repair. Today I am doing some electrical work and also some upgrades to my center console here. It comes out of my 2011 Chevy Cruze. This model console should be in your 2011 through 2016. Mine is a LS model, but I'm doing some LT upgrades per se. Slow in progress, you know, as I wait for LT models to end up in the junkyard being wrecked or whatnot to get parts. So, the tools you'll need for this is you'll need a wire harness, and you'll want both 12 outlet plugs, or aka cigarette lighters, for those that still reference these as cigarette lighters. And this is an LT model one because it only has the aux port plug. This is a LT model because it has the USB and the aux port plug, which the aux port plug is still located in here. This is the little cubby where you would have your USB and your aux. I did pull this whole thing out of the car. Technically, you can actually leave this in. You don't have to pull it out. You don't have to disassemble any of this or anything. You don't even have to unplug this. To get this out, one, you need to pull up your emergency brake. You have a little bolt screw here, and on this side you will have to take your kick panels off to access these bolt screws. Then up here at the top you have a bolt screw here and here on both sides. You do got to take the benzel that goes around your shifter out. Be careful you don't break it. Be very gentle. Then you have a tray that sits right here, and you take the two bolt screws out of it, and then this will give you access. But you will have to pull your seat forward, your passenger and driver, to access the little bolt screw that's on either side of this. Then from where you take the kick screw out, you'll see a plug that looks like this. There's a little latch on it that you flip up, and then this pulls out. Okay? And this little plug is the exact same plug that's on the LT models. The only difference with the LT models is you have this extra wire, which was cut, and I didn't realize it when I pulled it, which I believe this runs directly to the radio. Some further investigation, I will figure this out, and I'll show a video, you know, if this process works, the USB to the radio, whatnot. Okay, so I already made a short, in a sense, on this. This is the longer video. I already got one 12-volt outlet added here in the bottom. Now what I'm wanting to do is, why you need another wire harness, is because you're going to need the two outlet plugs if you add two. I'm probably going to add another one, which would be this one, for a total of 4. 1 in the rear, 3 in the front, because I run auxiliary lights and also have my dash cam. And so I'm thinking of putting this here. So my question is, let's get this in here, pop that back down. Okay, so flip this over. Question is, will I have room once this is in? And the answer is no. I will not have room to add this here. So that begs the question, okay, where can I add this? Can I add it here? So flip this over, and the answer to that is also no. I don't have room to add this fourth one here. So far, I might not be able to add this one anywhere on the center console. I necessarily don't want to add it in here because there's also not enough room to add it per se here on the side. So, and there's not enough room for me to add it like right here. This is too long. Alright, so, and I don't really want to add it directly down here at the bottom either. Because what I'm trying to do, because right now I have one of those Monster that you can buy at Advanced Auto Part. It's a Monster brand, and it has 3 12-volt outlets on it that plugs into one 12-volt outlet. I'm trying to do away with that, possibly. Because I had all the wires running in here, and it was making this hard to go and so forth. But I might end up installing this in another location, so I'm going to hold on to it. Okay, so what I need to do now, and yes, I am speaking a lot here because not everybody does this, so I need to explain what I'm doing here. So what I need to do is get this wire harness out and then strip down the wire harness, okay, and add one more to here. Now, I could, if I wanted to, see, I can go ahead and just plug this one in. There's no need for it to be unplugged, because you don't even have to unplug your cigarette lighters when you take this out. You can leave everything plugged in. I might do a video on just pulling this thing out by itself so everybody can see how simple it is to pull it out all together. Because I've seen a video where the guy literally was pulling the wire harness off, leaving it in the car, everything. Service book manual, basically how I have this out is exactly how you take it out. There's no special, just bolt, and then the 4 or so that's up here. Because this little tub doesn't even connect or hold down anything. Only reason why you need to take that out is if you need to swap out your USB port because this is bad, or swap out the USB one, or the this one here. Okay, so alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get a pair of scissors here, and the one I'm wanting is this one here. So let's go ahead and cut into it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work that in there. Get these clips off, because I don't need this wire harness. You can actually, I believe you can still buy this wire harness per se, but it's quite expensive. You can get one at a junkyard for next to nothing compared to buying one online. I think the one I found online was like over $200. So, oh, and here's the part number for this wire harness. This is the LT model. I mean the LS model. And the LT model, so this one is, for the LS model, it's 959-55916. For the LT model, it's 959-55917. So the last digit is just up by 1. This even has the date it was made, which is kind of cool. It even tells you what plant it came from, and the actual time this cord was assembled. Same thing here. So this one was done in February 24th of 2011. This wire harness was October 27, 2010. So what I'm going to do, so this video is not extremely long because it's already 10 minutes, and I'm not really got into anything except explaining. I'm going to go ahead and get this wire harness undone, and then I'll come back in when I get all that done. Okay, I got them both hooked up. Now get this fabric tape. Get it to look as OEM as possible. This fabric tape is quite sticky. Alright, so now what I had to do was pop this little Christmas tree out to give me some room. I didn't cut down into here. I just pushed this fabric tape down as far as I could, split it right in the center. So pop that, plug that one in, and then plug. Oh, come on. This way. That wire then can get kind of tucked up like that. Now the test is, will she work? So need to take this out to the car, get her plugged in, test it out. But the only tools that I actually used for this after getting this out was this wire cutter here, pair of scissors, some electrical tape, and then this old school wire cutter. This was just to crush the wire connections. Now these are gold plated wire connections. They're also considered wireproof. You can use them on speakers or electrical. Since this is an area where stuff gets spilled, that's why I wanted to go with the waterproof ones. Okay, so next thing is in the car. I will see you all there. Okay, everybody, the only tool you'll need for inside here for removing this is a 7mm. And get one of these special 1/4-inch screwdriver right here. This one I have here is a Thorson 80N, made in the USA. I bought that years ago. So you'll have this console here. Typically this will be here, so you want to get like a very thin brain freeze flathead screwdriver or a trim tool. But since mine's not here, and you will kind of want to pop up here at the top, you want to kind of get and pull forward and then loosen it up through here. Have your emergency brake. Oh, if you're wondering, your body control module is right down here. And then underneath here, you have your traction control that you need to unplug. And then this is your gear selector light. Pull this little white clip up, and then that unplugs there. And then this can be put in your back seat until you need it. Oh, and while you have this out, if you want to, 4 Phillips head screws will remove these. Then you can paint this to whatever color you want. Okay, so now since I have this out, I need to get the kick down panels out of the way. Okay, and before I go any further, I need to get this back out. Oh, okay. Oh, I'll be right back. I need to get some. I forgot my aux port, so I need to pop this back in. Okay. Oh yeah, it comes in from the top. And then it snaps in there. And then get these plugs. It's USB. And then this is aux port. Yeah. Oh, stay in. Maybe I got it in backwards. Yeah, I got it in backwards. That's why it's not clicking in. There we go. Put that back in. Kind of push that. Let that snap it in. Okay, so now move that seat back. Just go down. Oh, I got the seat belt thing. Okay, there we go. Okay. Get this wire harness out here. Make sure these wire harnesses come up. Oh, I need to get this little cubby out. What are we stuck on? Oh, what? I just realized this after all these years is this actually slides out. The one on my LT didn't, so I guess the LS has the sliding out armrest. Well, ain't that just beautiful? What? Oh, this is the plug I'm talking about right here. This goes into here, then pops down. You do have this other wire on your LT or LTZs that runs to your radio for the USB. Okay, so slide this forward and then boom, you got it. Okay, get on my screws. I just keep them in here. Let's put our cubby back in. Okay. All right, and then we just get our USB. Now the ones that have the washers on it, that goes to your cubby. Slides in right there. And I got another one for the cubby. That one goes in right there. Don't forget to make sure your shifter selector light plug and your traction control plug actually comes up. You have 4 more USB. Oh man, I dropped it. Well, I have more in the house. Okay, because the other one with the washer, it goes right here, right below the off and on switch for your blower motor. That's where the other bolt is located. Same thing on the other side for your temperature control for your HVAC unit. That one goes there. And then way down here, yeah, you guys can see, you got another one. Oh, right here. Goes right here. All right, so that one's in. And where did that other one go? Pull the seat forward. Got it. Okay, and then that one. This other one is located in the same spot on the other side, right over here. Then we can reinstall our kick panels. Which can be a bit frustrating, but line up the clip on the bottom, then you just get that, and you can pop it in. I can get this back down. Okay. And the clip I'm talking about is this one right here. Get it lined up down here. This makes this a lot easier if you don't get caught on your floor mat. Then you can, once you get that lined up, you can easily get these two things slotted in, and then pops right in. Okay, now get your bezel, plug in your traction control, plug in your illuminator for your gear selector. You might want to pull that up just a little bit more if you put it down. Pop in the top, and then just work your way around, and there you go. Now that's all in. Now I'm going to take you guys, come on, let go, tripod. Okay, now this next part, you want to pull your seat forward. Also on the passenger side, I need 2 screws. Okay, so let me, I wasn't even recording. So this is the other hole I'm talking about. You have 2, one on this side, one on this side. You pull your passenger and driver's seat all the way up to access them. I'm going to work on getting these in, because these are a pain in the butt to reinstall after you get them out, because this thing don't always line right back up perfectly as it does in the front. Okay. Whew, everything is installed. All right, so here's the test. My key broke, so it's a bit janky. Okay, so this is working. It's running at 14 volts. That light is not on. These lights are not on, okay. This is the monster switch I was talking about, that's down in there. Oh. Might help if I have all the things on. Oh, AC's running. Okay, so That light's running. These ones are not. Still not. Okay, what's going on here? Still nothing. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, so the extra one I put in works just fine. So now I have one button to push, turn my lights on instead of having everything janky. I have my dash cam running to the one there in the back, right there. And then I have my Bluetooth for my radio till I get the USB part working, plugged into there. And let's go in here. Tire pressure sensor monitor. Oh, that's weird. We're running at 14 volts. It does that every now and then. But anyways, I also have a voltmeter on this one right here, so I'll know when I'm charging. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope this video helps. If you're not subscribed, please do. And always remember, if it's broke, fix it. All right, everybody. I just took my car around the block to make sure, you know, there's no electronic malfunctions, you know, because these Cruzes, even when they're not on, the car is doing a system check and literally checking everything in the vehicle. It also checks, you might find that surprising, but it also checks your cigarette ports and your so-called aux cord or USB port. It checks all that. I ended up getting a U code and the brake control module, which most of this stuff right through here, the wiring harness is integrated within the body control module and the brake control module, which is also part of your traction control and your stabilizing link system. So when I unplugged that, the vehicle could not communicate with this portion of the system that I have here because it was unplugged. I also unplugged the traction control and the transmission shift selector, so it couldn't communicate with those, let's say chip or whatever, you know, basically the button that turns it on and off and the thing that lights up your gear selector up. It couldn't communicate, so it threw a code. Also, which when it threw a code, since there was a break in that connection, the TPS system went offline, which what the TPS system does is it checks all your tire pressure. And you'll get a little light when your tire pressure is low and you need to go check it. Most cars, pressing the menu on your little instrument, your little switch over here that's for, you know, for your turn signals and so forth. You can go in there and find your thing. So now this code, you do need to get into the electronic brake module. You need to clear it, but you can only clear it with the car not running. Ignition on, car not running, then the code will clear. Then your car, without you knowing it, will do another system check, and it will find it working. This car is like, oh, hold on a second, there's more voltage here than normal, but that's nothing. Only thing it will do is it will adjust the how much the alternator puts out to the battery. The computer will adjust that, and then you will get, everything will work just fine. because these alternators are electronically controlled. Okay, so this is why I'm saying doing modifications in newer vehicles is kind of risky, because of the electronic modules that are in this car. This car specifically here, being an LS model, has 15 modules in it. I've actually been in the Chevy vehicles and scanned them, and they've had over 20 modules in it. I was in a Toyota, it had over 30 modules in it. This was a Prius. So with that stated, make sure if you do splice in the wires, you know what wires you're cutting into. These are color coded. Gray and purple, at least for here in this area, is for the cigarette or 12 volt outlet ports. Okay, so with all said and done, I cleared the code, took the car on a drive. TPS system came back online once I started driving. So now I can see what my tire pressure is. But I can go ahead and see that with my Autel scan tool. I can go into the body control module, go down to the tire press, specifically the tire pressure system, and I can actually see what my tire pressures are. And it also tells me what my TPS code numbers are per each TPS sensor. So if I need to, which I'm eventually going to do, I'm going to write down each one of my codes for my thing. So if I ever have to change out get a TPS sensor plugged, and the guy doing it doesn't needs a code, I have the codes in my glove box. Simple as that. Sometimes punching in the code that the car recognizes, it works. It just all depends on how the TPS system works. But enough said. This little modification is simple. You can do it yourself, as I've shown in the video, and it does give you an extra outlet if you want to give up this little cubby space. I never really use this cubby space for much. I mainly used it to hold, I'm gonna slide that back, my earbuds, my wireless earbuds. But I just kind of wanted to make my system a little bit more simpler. And so I just have a button to push, turn my lights on, instead of having to manually turn each one on or reach back here to hit the button. Now I can just hit the button. And I also don't have to unplug anything. So now I can actually have my dash cam running and still have my Bluetooth operating, and then have my lights on a whole separate system, which to me is a plus. And y'all are like, why do you have lights? I deliver newspapers. I need them, in the evening. I also deliver every other week. I deliver the TV Guide to a few customers out here. So that's that. And if you're wondering what kind of tripod I'm using, it's just a cell phone holder that you put in your car. I mean, the phone right now is held up in the same thing, except this one's black, not blue like the one that's on the car. All right, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. When that comes up, I don't know. I work 2 jobs, full-time and a part-time. I also am a yard maintenance here where I live. So car videos, I don't have much time to do those, but when I do, I'll make one. All right, I'll see you all in the next one. And thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. My goal, and it takes you guys, I want that silver play button. 1 million subscribers. If I got that, I wouldn't know what to do. Even just getting the silver play button to me would be a mile marker in my life. It would just be a goal that I achieved, that I don't believe I could ever achieve, because I can't get that button. It takes you guys for me to get that button. But I can almost guarantee, if you guys help me get that button by subscribing, I will actually get sponsors possibly, and be able to do some things that I really want to do with this channel. I really want to go around and buy cars from individuals, you know, may need a head gasket, may need a timing belt. They may not want it because it just has issues. What I want to do is buy these cars, fix them up, and then give them, not sell them, but give them to deserving people that need a vehicle. You know, somebody that has a driver's license, but they can't afford to buy a car. But if they had a car, it would help them out financially, because then they could get to and from work or take their kids to daycare. It give people more freedom of movement, per se. That's kind of what I want to do with this channel, is to buy cars from people, fix them up, and then give them away. Not as a tax write-off, because I'm never going to put the car in my name. The person that I buy the car from will sign the title. When I give the car to the other person, they will sign the title. So it will be like they did the dealings with that person. Because where I live in Tennessee, you do not have to notarize your title, and I don't have to sign it right away. So, I mean, I could, but see, here's the problem. If I go to get the title put in my name, then I have to register the vehicle and insure the vehicle and tag the vehicle. I cannot just get the title in my name in Tennessee. When you do the title, you automatically register, get a tag, and have to insure it. I will catch you on the next one. I got a phone call.